Hello and welcome to Froch on Fighting. My name is Carl Froch, a.k.a. The Cobra, former unified champ, Hall of Famer, you know the drill. Right, there's a few bits to get into. We've got Mike Tyson taking on Floyd Mayweather Jr., what is going off with boxing. We've also got a serious fight. We've got Fabio Wardley and Joseph Parker fighting. Hopefully that'll be for a world title, but we'll get into that in a minute. And also, my phone's been ringing off the hook for a story that's madness. This damn Apple. We'll also get into that as well. A little bit of juiciness around Darren Till. But don't forget, if you haven't already, hit like, share and subscribe. This episode is brought to you by Cobra Casino. Okay, so it's been nearly a week since I was at the Misfits show. I tell you what, no, I was quite impressed. They put on quite a good show. Mams Taylor, Callis Allen was there, my old... Is he a friend or a firm? He calls me his nemesis because I've had a couple of professional boxing matches with him. 2 with Kessler. I've had one with Arthur Abraham. And George Groves, he promoted Groves when I rendered him unconscious in front of all them people. But I was sat there with KSI, watching the show. Joey Essex was on there. He had a life and death. He was shooting from the hip, he was, with his chin a foot in the air. And it was entertaining. It's not proper boxing. I can just get that out there. But it was an entertaining evening. A different sort of audience, different demographic, quite a younger audience. But I thought it was a load of rubbish when I first heard about it and watched a few clips on TV, turned it off. But actually being there, and he did say that was one of the best shows he's put on, Callie. And Mams Taylor was excited about it as well. It was a good show from start to finish. It had a bit of everything. Bit of MMA, bit of boxing. I think there was one fight, there was a decent little boxing match. Then you've got Total Raw Novice and... Joey Essex, and he had a little dust up for 4 or 6 rounds, but they was both gassed after 2. And it was entertaining. I enjoyed it. But anyway, the Apple story is my producer, Manny, does a bit for DAZN, and you get a goodie bag when you work on open broadcast with a broadcaster. Get a bit peckish. You have something to eat. Now, he opened up this brown bag, and there was some sweets. I think there's some Haribos in there, some crisps, a little chocolate bar. And being the ultimate athlete I am, as you know, I went for the juicy red apple. Now, listen, I'm not sure if it was a pink lady or what it was. In fact, it wasn't a pink lady because they're a little bit more blushed pink, aren't they, the red? This was a red one, and I was polishing up like a cricket ball. And I'm just munching on this apple, enjoying the juices. They were flowing. And then all of a sudden, this idiot in the ring, Darren Till is his name, decided to roll up on me. He just beat Luke Rockhold in a decent little fight. No disrespect to Luke Rockhold. He shouldn't be anywhere near a boxing ring ever again. He's had a great MMA career, let's be honest. He was a world champ. I actually spoke to a good friend of mine, Michael Bisping, and he beat Rockhold for the title. And he must be a good fighter to be mixing it with that sort of level. But he shouldn't be anywhere near a boxing ring, like none of these mixed martial artists should, because it's not their discipline. And that's what Darren Till was doing. He was trying to box. He fought Luke Rockhold. I think Rockhold's heart's not in it. He's a lot older than him. He had a go. He got flattened. And as soon as he finished, old Till, he decided to make a beeline for me. Come over to the top rope, started shouting and swearing and losing the plot and salivating at the mouth. And I was thinking, I'm trying to enjoy my apple. Can I just sit here and relax and just get stuck? I was like, when you get to the core bit and there's still some nice bits on the end, either end, you've still got a bit of fruit left on the bone, on the core. And I was just getting into them bits. And I thought, I'm not going to break this flow of this juicy apple on the last bits as well for this idiot. I could see the security had him under control. But I was thinking, if he slips under the rope or jumps over and makes a dive for me, don't worry, I was ready for him. But anyway, finished the apple and just got out of there because I was bored of listening to his... I couldn't understand half of it. Actually, when I got back, I got Rachel to translate it for me. Rachel's a Scouser as well. She could understand what he was saying. And she translated it for me. It wasn't very nice, but he lost the plot. I don't know why. He said on a recent interview that he blacks out and he don't know what happens to him and he loses it. He tried to reference Tony Bellew, but come on. Don't put yourself in with that kind of class. But Darren Till lost the plot. I was eating my apple. When I'd listened to some of his nonsense, I decided to get out of there. And then it carried on. I didn't hear what he said because I was gone, but I watched it back later. But yeah. That's the story of the juicy apple. So a lot of you might not know who Darren Till is and why the beef started. So where did the beef start? I'll be honest with you. I didn't know who Darren Till was until my producer, the Manny Machine, said to me, have you seen Darren Till? He's had a fight and he's been talking nonsense about you. I'd beat you up in the ring. And I'm like, who's this Darren Till? Let me get a look. So I had a look at him and I thought, no chance. Listen, mixed martial arts fighter, not a professional boxer. It's different sport, different discipline. don't get into the boxing ring with the Cobra at any age and think that you can have any kind of success. I said it then to Manny, and I still say it now. I'd absolutely smash him to bits. I stand by it. It's a mismatch. Now, like me, a lot of my audience, the followers of the best channel in the business, the boxing channel, they won't know who Darren Till is. They'll know he's a UFC fighter. Up to now, they'll know, if they know. But yeah, they won't actually know who this guy is that's pretending to be a boxer. So I've done a bit of homework, done a bit of research, and here's some stats I would like to bring to your attention. So first off, Darren Till was a UFC fighter. But here's the reality. He lost 5 of his last 6 fights. Just let that sink in again. I'll say it again. He lost 5 of his last 6 fights in the UFC world. So now he's come over to Misfits. He's had 3 boxing fights. Not professional boxing matches, just 3 fights. But they've all been against ex-UFC fighters. So he's not actually boxed a real fighter. So just want to be clear about that. They was against MMA guys. None of them were actual boxers. They were wrestlers, you know, guys who can't fight. They can fight, but they can't box. I should say box, because they can fight. These MMA fighters know how to fight. Trust me, they can have a tear up. But I'm talking about boxing. You know, these guys, none of them, we've seen it with Conor McGregor, we've seen it in Ngannou. These guys can't box at any kind of level, let alone a high level, a professional world champ, Hall of Famer level. I know I've been retired 11 years. Listen, I'm not gonna big myself up too much. So he's never stepped into the ring, which is what I'm trying to get at, with a real professional boxer ever. And recently, he's been running his mouth saying, if you got me in a ring, a boxing ring, UFC ring, the only ring I'd be getting in is a boxing ring. But he said he'd choke me out. So maybe when he sees me, he's talking about choking me out. But let's just be clear about this. He won't be choking out anybody. And the last time I watched a bit of Darren Till in the UFC ring, he was tapping out and getting choked out himself like a little bitch. And he taps out really fast as well. He's not like my mate Michael Bisping, who gets choked by GSP and he refuses to tap. He goes out on his shield. He gets choked unconscious and the ref has to jump in. Darren Till, let me go, let go. He doesn't even try and stay in there. He just taps out instantly like a little bitch. Gets choked out. So he's talking about choking me out. I'm choking myself here now, getting excited. But, you know, I've watched the guy get choked out and he's talking about, you know, it's not good. He needs to have a reality check and realise who he's talking to. And he's calling me on in a boxing match in a professional capacity. Different world, different sport. Listen, there's levels to the game, mate. Have a look over the shoulder. It's not your level. It's not your level. It's not your game. Stay out of my zone. I've been retired 11 years, and I've already said it before, and I'll say it again. It's a mismatch. Listen, Darren Till, I've seen you get choked out. Not once.
Not the tap and tight.
Not twice.
Moment for Duplessis.
There's the tap. Just like that.
But 3 times. Like a little bitch.
He'll get it, but this doesn't look
There's
good.
the tap. Derek Brunson.
And I've also seen you get absolutely ironed out by Masvidal. El Sparko, unconscious. Just imagine what I would do to you. Woo. And obviously, me being a 4-time world champ Hall of Famer, been in there with the best of the best. I don't know what it's like to tap out. I don't know what it's like to get knocked out. I've only ever been knocked down on the canvas twice in my career. And both times, I got off the canvas to win the fight. The first time I got dropped was against Jermaine Taylor, a former undisputed world champion. Dropped me in round 3. I got up to finish him off in the dying seconds of the last round.
Froch punches, and it's over.
Got the job done. And the second knockdown was George Groves, an unbeaten young fresh geezer, 11 years my junior. Sounds a little bit like you, doesn't it? A lot younger than me. And what happened to George Groves? He got rendered unconscious in front of 80,000 at Wembley Stadium. I didn't get dropped there. Actually, that wasn't the droppage, was it? That was the first one. I've moved on to the rematch. The first fight with Groves, I got dropped in round 1, climbed off the canvas to get the stoppage in round 9. And then we got the rematch, and I rendered him unconscious, El Sparko, in front of 80,000 fans at Wembley Stadium, might I add. So that's the kind of level you're dealing with. That's what I do. When I get, in the unlikely occasion, the odd rare time I get dropped, I get off the floor to win the fight. That's the difference. I don't know what it's like to be rendered unconscious. I don't know what it's like to tap out like a little bitch. I just fucking go and do the business that I'm supposed to do. It's a different kind of world, mate. Different levels. You know the game. So anyway, in all seriousness, You've tuned in because you want to know what the Cobra's thinking. Am I going to be getting back in the ring? Do I need it? Do I really want it? No and no. But I just thought I'd get the opinion of people that I respect. So I spoke to Rob McCracken, my old coach, and the feedback was positive, more positive than what I thought it would be. I actually broke contact with Eddie Hearn, so there's a bit more to develop on that front. I've also been speaking to Callis Howland, who's really keen because he's obviously promotes Misfits and he's close with Mams Taylor, and family, friends, whatever. And I'm not writing it off. I'm having a little look in the gym. Listen, next week I'm in Las Vegas. I'm going to go and see the Crawford-Canelo fight. I'm going to be around all that, so keep tuning into Froch on Fighting for all the latest updates. When I get back, I'm going to see what's developed, see how the landscape lies. But let's just get one thing clear. Darren Till, I know you'll be watching this because you're interested. And you will be interested because you need it. Because you've not had that big payday yet, have you? And fair play to you. You're chasing the dream. But don't get any stupid ideas about you're the A-side. Listen, I don't want to big myself up. I don't want to point out the belts behind me, the unified champ, Hall of Famer and all that jazz. But people call me boxing royalty. I don't call myself boxing royalty. But when you talk about A-side and B-side, listen, you're looking at the A-side. But let's just rein it in a little bit. There's potential. But the thought of getting the old band back together for one last dance, I've got to be honest, it's appealing. So, moving on, we've had some fight news, some proper fight news. We've had, there's two to get into. There's Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather, which I'm going to do in a sec. And also Fabio Wardley, Joseph Parker, which for me is a great fight. I mean, Joseph Parker's 33 years old, but he's having a late surge in his career. He's had a couple of good wins. He was tapping on the door for a world title. Hopefully, he was trying to get the Usyk fight. Never happened. I think it was mandatory for one of the belt, maybe the WBO. And obviously, Usyk's done what he's done. He's fought Dubois twice, fought AJ twice, he's fought Fury twice. The three big hitters in the division. And he's done them all. He's just won, and it clearly. He's the man. He's like one of the pound for pound greats, even in the heavyweight division, undisputed. But you got Joseph Parker, Fabio Wardley, similar ages. Parker in a late resurgence in his career, fully fledged professional. He's been in there with most of them. You know his career, you know what he can do, and he's looking good now. Late on, he wanted the Usyk fight, didn't get it. He beat Deontay Wilder. He had a great win against Yilei Zhang. I like him. I think he's a top fighter. He's a developing pro, even though he's been in there. I mean, he's fought AJ. He lost against AJ, but he seems to have been in there with everybody, and he's just not quite of that elite world level. He's just not quite there yet, and I feel like he deserves a shot now at another world title. And having said that, against Fabio Wardley, if this fight does happen, which I love, it's a great fight because Fabio Wardley is other than the draw against Fraser Clark, which he rematched and he got the knockout. He's knocked out every single one of his opponents. Is he the British Deontay Wilder? I've mentioned that before, because to be knocking everybody out at a 95% knockout ratio, it's big banger. He's a white-collar fighter. He knows how to fight. He can move. He can box a little bit. He likes to stand and have a tear up. He's confident. He's brave. He ticks all the boxes. He's fit. But I would say, and I think the bookies would say as well, that Joseph Parker is the favourite, and rightly so. But it's just a great fight. Like, anything can happen in this one, because Fabio Wardley is a great mover, big puncher, ambitious, confident, and Joseph Parker, really, he's the proven entity. So that's a fight I love. Let's see what happens. I'll probably be there for that one because I'm not going to miss that one. Okay, so moving on from Fabio Wardley to Fraser Clark, which, as I've already said, I think is a great fight. We've got some not so good news, in my opinion. I don't think that this fight should be happening. I know it's an exhibition. Floyd Mayweather, Mike Tyson. It sounds, doesn't it? It sounds sensational. And it's two of the biggest names in boxing history, really. You mentioned Floyd Mayweather to anybody, you mentioned Mike Tyson to anybody, then they're going to know who they are. One's half the size of the other. Mayweather's tiny compared to Tyson. Tyson's big, strong and heavy. Tyson's 58, 59 years old. Mayweather's my age, 48 years old. Still a spring chicken, can still fight, can still do it. Look at Manny Pacquiao. He could still fight. He fought Barrios for a world title and got a draw. And he's 47, 48 years old. So, anyway, for me, it's a fight that shouldn't really be happening. I know it's an exhibition, but what's it doing? What's it proving? What they're getting out of it? If it's going to be a lot of bunts, then I get it. Money Mayweather, he's been counting his $100 bills. His Benjamin Franklin's have been, is it Benjamin Franklin? What's a $100 bill? Anyway, he's been counting some serious fat wedge on his private jet, beer hugging his big wedge of cash. And it's like, is the money man in him, Money May all day. But I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like the fight. Mike Tyson's a legend. We've just seen him have a little play fight with old fake Paul. I just don't think he should be back in the ring. Is there a health issue here? Potentially a problem? I don't know. I don't think Mayweather can hurt Mike Tyson. I don't think he's big enough. He's height-wise, it's 5'5", 5'6" against probably 5'10", which ain't a massive difference. But he'll look tiny next to Mike Tyson. Mayweather will, because Mike Tyson is big and stocky and thick set. And for me, the weight division, the weight difference would be big, because Mike Tyson's still a big geezer, still a big lump. And Floyd Mayweather keeps himself in shape. He's quite slim and lean and quite little. So I don't know what to say, really. There's no confirmed venue or date. The exact date, like spring 2026, potentially. We don't know about the round length. Is it 3-minute rounds, 2-minute rounds? What size are the gloves going to be? 10, 12, 40, maybe even 16 ounces. There'll be some safety elements in there. What weight classes are going to be? They're not going to get near each other's weight, are there? Is there any specific rules? Is it going to be sanctioned? There's so many question marks, but it's kind of things we don't need to be answered. All we need to focus on is the fact that these two are thinking about getting in the ring together and having a tear-up. I know it's an exhibition, but no one's going to just watch these have a move around and throw a few jabs. Is it really right that Mike Tyson's going to go in there and start swinging big hooks at Floyd Mayweather, and we're going to expect Floyd Mayweather to jab and box a move and outpoint his way to a victory against Mike Tyson? I don't think it happens. Do I think it will go ahead? Listen, like I said earlier, if it makes money, it makes sense. If the money's there, the fight will probably happen. Will people watch it? Yes, I'll certainly watch it. You'll be interested, won't you? It's two of the biggest names in boxing, and it's a fight that's going to drum up some interest. But for me, I'm not a big fan of this fight. I don't think it should be happening. Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, for me, don't do it. Nothing to prove. What's the point? But let me know in the comments what you think. Do you want to see it? So that's it for another episode of Froch on Fighting. Hope you enjoyed it. I had to straighten out a little bit of beef for me and Till. We talked about a bit of real boxing as well. And for me, the joke shop fight that's Mike Tyson, Mayweather. Like I say, let me know in the comments what you think. Next week, I'm excited. Going to be in Vegas. Viva Las Vegas, baby. With my producer, the Manny Machine. I don't know if he's going to be able to keep up with a Cobra. I've been there a few times. I know all the little moves and shakes. I know where to go and where not to go. And I'm looking forward to being on the ground and getting some great content, some big interviews. Hopefully get a word with Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford again. You know, I was out in Saudi Arabia for the press conference. Now I'm in Las Vegas for the big fight. So Froch on Fighting's hitting the road hard, hitting the ground running, just across all the big events. And it's exciting. I'm really looking forward to being there in Las Vegas across what for me is probably one of the biggest fights that's going to happen in a long time. I'll get into it on the build-up from Vegas, but this is blockbuster. This is absolutely massive. Terence Crawford is one of the pound-for-pound greats. We know what Canelo Alvarez is also one of the pound-for-pound greats. As this fight's drawing closer, and as I'm looking at these two get together, I'll be doing a preview, so this ain't my preview, but when I'm looking at them, I don't know if Canelo Alvarez has passed his best. And I don't want to say it because it wouldn't be fair to say, but somebody said he's overrated. And I'm thinking, what do you mean he's overrated? And when you look at his career and look at his stats and look at who he's fought, he's been beat as well. You know, he stepped up to light heavyweight, he lost to Bivol. I know Mayweather served him up. But Terence Crawford's unbeaten, undisputed. He's a big chunk as well. Big chunk of a man. When he stands next to Canelo, everyone's talking about the size. It's not a massive size difference. This fight is interesting. I cannot wait. I've not been this excited for a fight, like genuinely interested and excited for a fight in a long time. We've had some good stuff as well, some good heavyweight stuff in the past. But this one, I cannot wait. So, yeah, don't forget to tune in to the biggest channel in the business, Froch on Fighting. If you haven't already, hit subscribe, and we'll see you very soon.